All right, in three, two. Welcome back to Toyota Sports Talk. The Winter Olympics right around the corner, and there's going to be several athletes from right here in the DMV region representing Team USA in the biggest spotlight, the Winter Olympics in Milano Cortina. Joined now by Carsten Vissering, Bethesda native. His story is absolutely remarkable. Swimmer turned bobsledder. Carsten is going to the Olympics. Carsten, really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Scott. It's an honor to be here.
Has it hit you yet? Has it sunk in? You are going to be an Olympian.
It has not. It's everything is still surreal. I was thinking about. I remember when I was recruited to this sport, I talked to one of our head program performance, and he said, "Oh, I'm sure you're interested in being an Olympian in 4 years." And when he said that, I was like, oh well, we'll see where this goes, but I don't think that's going to be the end result. I obviously I you have to believe in yourself and keep performing, but at the time I was like, I don't know if we have what it takes to get there, but we'll see. So to be actually living that moment and reflecting back and saying, oh wow, I actually did it, it's still surreal to me.
Take me through that moment when you got the call a couple of days ago that you made the Olympic team. What were your emotions? What did you do?
Oh man, so we did it in a conference room, and they basically put the whole World Cup team because the World Cup team is who the Olympic team is drawn from, and it's all every athlete's in there, and they basically go through and announce the roster for the Olympic team, and it's an incredibly powerful moment. Everyone's tearing up, everyone's hugging each other. It's a hard moment for a lot of people too because there's going to be the people who don't get named, and they take the flight the next morning back home to DC to not compete. So it is probably one of the most emotional athletic moments I've ever been in because people have put some people there 8 years to make it. Some people we had a teammate who did 4 years last quad, didn't make it, just missed it at the end, and he finally made it this time here with his wife and baby. So I mean, he was in tears. So it's
Yeah.
it's an incredibly powerful moment.
All right, so your backstory is incredible. Let's start with kind of you know how swimming is in this DMV region, right? I mean, it is a hotbed for swimming. Summer swim, end cap. You were you were all in that. You were a really good breaststroker. Take me through kind of your swimming journey and then how you ended up as a bobsledder.
Yeah, so I had a very non-traditional background to bobsled. Almost everyone comes from collegiate track and field, a little bit of football, but I my entire life was a swimmer. From a very young age, I started like many people in the MCSL, the Montgomery County Swim League, and that was my feeder to club swimming. From where I swam with RMSC and then NCAP, and then from there ended up getting a scholarship and competing at USC. But my whole life was swimming, and that was my main sport. And it was from a very young age, year-round competition encompassed everything of my identity. So it was like an ego death to switch from this sport that had like encompassed your identity to bobsled once I retired following my collegiate career.
Yeah, so you like I said, you were a really good breaststroker. You competed in the Olympic trials in swimming, and then there was kind of a point where you hung up the swimming goggles, you hung up the swim cap. Take me through that moment of that pivot of like trying to figure out what's next and what led you to bobsled.
Yeah, so I had a very successful swimming career, which I was incredibly thankful of. Ended on a great note. I was a 15, 16-year-old national age group record holder. I represented the US at the World University Games. And then in college, I was an NCAA champion, two-time Pac-12 champion. So a very storied career that I was satisfied with. But towards the end of my career, I was starting to develop love for the weight room, which I had been introduced to in college. It wasn't as much of a component of my training in high school. And um, towards the end of my career, I knew that once swimming was done, I still had a lot of fighting spirit to be athletic and to pursue other avenues. Now that as a collegiate swimmer, just 20 hours a week is just training. So a huge amount of time and energy is going to be freed up. And I knew that there was more stuff that I want to do and more stuff to try. I actually found out about bobsled. I read an article from an Olympic brakeman, which is the position I do in the sport. It's we just push the sled on the hill to generate the inertia. But he was describing his training week, like day in the life of an Olympic bobsled brakeman. And it was Monday, he's back squatting. Wednesday, he's sprinting at the track. Friday, he's doing plyometrics and jumps. And I thought, that's his sport. He gets to do everything I love because I was in love with the gym in college. So I started looking into the sport, how to get in, the pipeline. it never came from, oh, I'm obsessed with bobsled. I want to train. I want to race in it. It more so was, oh, well, the 90% of the training of these athletes is what I love. So why not just do what you love? So that's actually what got me into the sport.
Amazing. So you went to Lake Placid for a camp? Was that in 2023? Like I'm trying to figure out the timeline here.
Yep, that is correct. So I tried out at my rookie camp right after the last Winter Olympics.
Okay.
And I consulted with some former national team members, and that's like many sports, that's a good time to get your foot in the door. Things are less competitive. A lot of Olympians take time off or they retire. So the door's more open to allow rookies to come into the system. So right after the Olympics for the 2022-2023 season was when I first entered the sport and when I had my first rookie camp, combine, and tryouts.
So like you said, the transition usually is from track and field athletes to bobsledders. Why do you think your transition made it through from a swimmer to a bobsledder?
Yeah, that probably is what I'm most proud of myself for is just overcoming a lot of the perceived setbacks and the real ones too. There's a lot of it took a lot to get to where I am now. It took 4 years. Really, if I brought my 2022 self back, I wouldn't even have gotten past the rookie camp this year. So I had to overcome and prove a lot to get here. I think it's a combination of a few factors. I think for one, explosive sports. It's a lot of it has a lot to do with genetic talents. Some people are very explosive, some more than others. I think I was very lucky to have good explosive genes, which of course have to be expressed through hard work. So I had good coaching who I reached out to, really good people early on who've helped me make this transition. But I think above all, it really was just like the love of the training, and every day I could attack with intensity. And it's you can approach the volume and a huge goal of it's something that you can just go in. I mean, just loving the training and wanting to be there every day just makes allows you to hit it with that much more intensity. And I think it's the combination of I had really good coaches who helped this transition, who knew how to handle me being a unique case, not being a former Division One sprinter, because that was a difficulty at the beginning. Keeping doing the workouts with the team, trying to keep up. I had a lot of soft tissue injuries.
Mm.
It was like never. I was a history major in college. It'd be like me going and taking graduate level engineering classes. It's like they assume that you've
Yeah.
taken like all the intro level courses, all the undergraduate courses. So it felt like that early on. You're seeing all these guys with great mechanics, guys and girls who were elite NCAA champions. We've got one girl on the women's team was three-time heptathlon NCAA champion.
Wow.
So that's the caliber of athlete that you have to compete and train with. So, but like I said, I think it just I had all this passion and love for the training, great coaches and great people who help facilitate the transition. And like everything in life, there is a degree of just having good talent that lines up. It's all the factors. It's luck, talent, and drive.
You went to Georgetown Prep, right?
Correct. Yep.
What year did you graduate from Prep?
2015.
Okay, so if I would have told you, Karsten, in 2015, you obviously probably had an Olympic dream back then, but it was in
Oh yeah.
swimming. If I would have told you
Correct.
at your graduation from prep that you would be an Olympian in bobsledding, what would you have told me?
I'd ask if you came from a different universe, a parallel universe or something, and the metaverse was real because that's nothing that's going to happen in my future.
Yeah, right. I mean, isn't life crazy? Like, it's amazing how you're at this point when your whole life was swimming, swimming, swimming.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The crazy thing is I haven't competed since 2019 was the last time I competed in the swim race. I still have dreams. The funny thing is I still have dreams that I'm at swim meets, but it's with my bobsled teammates. I don't have bobsled dreams. It's swim meet dreams still. It's crazy. It's still hardwired into my identity.
Amazing. So you got the Olympic Games coming up. All right, you made it. You're an Olympian. That's good, right? But this is a business trip too. I assume you want a medal.
Yeah, absolutely. So our team, we came in seventh in the four-man at the first World Cup on tour was actually at the Cortina track. It was a
Okay.
test event for the game, so it's a good indicator of where we're going to sit when come the Olympic Games this month. And we placed seventh there, and that was with a brand new crew. We've only gotten better at that. That was yeah, that was the first. We were start rank seven. in four-man, which means at the push start, which is a huge correlator to your downtime, what time, what your push start ranks. We were seventh. Winterberg, our last four-man race together, I was taken out of the last two due
I
to
saw that.
injuries. But our last race in Winterberg, in a home German track, and I say the home German track because the Germans are by and far the leaders in the sport.
Yep.
We hit start rank one on a heat. So that improvement, I would absolutely say that we're coming with energy and we're coming with a belief that we put everything together. We can absolutely medal at the Olympics in four man.
What are you looking forward to most? Obviously, there's a lot of layers to this because you have your family that sacrificed so much during your early years of, dragging you to swim meets, waking you up early for swim practice at 4 or 5 in the morning. Your wife currently. How much of it are you going to enjoy that you can share this with them because they're a big factor as to why you are where you're at right now?
Absolutely. Olympics has like a dual identity or dual view with a lot of athletes. It's like you said, on one hand, it's a huge degree of this, like, this is the pinnacle competition and you're going all out for it. But a lot of it is almost like a reward for this lifetime. It is, you get to compete at the highest level. Obviously everyone's obsessed with the opening ceremony gear. So there is a lot of that, oh, this honor and the swag you get involved with it. But too, like you said, it is like this culmination of all you've done and all the sacrifice, and you get to enjoy that with your family and with your loved ones. And I think that is a huge part of it too. And I mean, my from a young age, my parents hardlined, oh, the goal is the Olympics, the goal is the Olympics, from like 8 years old, 9 years old. So we got there eventually. We just had to take a different path.
Carson, you have a lot of friends and family still in the DMV region, and I'm sure they're going to be watching this. What do you want to say to them? Because you have a lot of people that support you back home.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing but gratitude. It's a low key, the sport's a low key sport. So my biggest fans have been all the people I've known all my whole life. And I was talking to my wife about it and saying that this reminds me of our wedding, because at our wedding you have all these people from all these parts of your life reaching out and supporting you. And this is just like that. I've got people from USC, I've got people from MCSL, I've got my coaches when I was 8 years old. And it really means everything because all these people, many of them have been supporting me since the start of this.
Yep. And I want to end with this because, um, like you, there's a lot of young girls and young boys in this DMV region that have dreams, that maybe have dreams of becoming an Olympian. What do you want to say to them?
Like whatever you're pursuing, if you have the passion for it, that's a super powerful tool. I was told by a man who was a national team member, he wrote his PhD dissertation on what makes a good bobsledder. He has a kinesiology PhD, and he told me that it would be very unlikely for you to ever make the national team. So, like, it's a cliche answer, but I mean, really, if you have the passion and you have a drive, and there's a lot of people who will say that's not possible, or that's not realistic. You go in with the right angles, and anything's possible, and you can overcome that.
Awesome. Carsten Vissering, Bethesda native, swimmer turned bobsledder, and now an Olympian. Carsten will be watching. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you having me on. Take care.
All right, much more to come right here on Toyota Sports Talk. Stay with us.